The forest changes when winter arrives, not just cold, but silent in a way that feels heavy. The kind of silence where every step matters and every life hangs by a thread. Deep in a snow-covered forest, during the harshest storm of the season, a mother deer, Elara, struggled through the freezing wind. Her body was weak. There was blood along her side. She had been shot not long ago. Each step looked like her last. But she kept moving, because beside her, barely able to stand, was her newborn baby. The little fawn slipped again and again into the snow, too fragile to survive on its own. Every time, Elara stopped, gently lifted it, and pushed forward. Not for herself, but for the life that depended on her. She knew something. She wasn't going to make it. And in that forest, a newborn alone wouldn't last a single night. So instead of hiding, she did something no deer should ever do. She walked toward a human. Deep in the forest stood an old wooden cabin. Inside lived a hunter, a man who knew these woods and had taken from them for years. That night, as the storm raged outside, he heard something at his door. A weak sound. He opened it, and there she was, Elara, barely standing, and the tiny fawn beside her. For a moment, he reacted like a hunter. He raised his gun, pointed it straight at her. But Elara didn't run, didn't even move. She just looked at him, not in fear, but in silence, as if asking for something. Then suddenly, her legs gave out. She collapsed into the snow. The baby cried softly, nudging her. Something changed in that moment. The hunter lowered his gun. Without thinking further, he stepped forward, picked up the baby, and carried both of them inside. That night, the hunter became something else. He cleaned her wounds, wrapped her injuries, kept the fire alive. Days later, he even walked miles through the storm to a village, bringing back medicine, not for himself, but for them. Time passed. Slowly, Elara began to recover. The baby grew stronger, taking small steps around the cabin. And sometimes, I imagine you watching this moment, seeing a man who once hunted, now carefully feeding a deer from his own hands. The storm finally ended. Snow began to melt. The forest came back to life. And the day arrived when they had to leave. Elara stood at the door, strong again, her baby beside her. She turned back, looking at the hunter. For a moment, everything was still. Then slowly, she lowered her head, a deep bow, and gently tapped her hoof against his hand. The hunter froze. Tears filled his eyes, because he remembered. Years ago, he had found a baby deer. Alone, injured. He had taken it in, cared for it, protected it. And before it left, he had taught it something simple: to bow and tap his hand. A way of saying thank you. That baby deer was Elara. She remembered, even after all these years, even at the edge of death, she came back, not for herself, but for her baby, because she trusted him the same way she once did. And the hunter, he knew from the moment he saw her. That's why he lowered his gun. Now, as she walked back into the forest with her baby, alive and safe, he didn't stop them. He just stood there, smiling through tears. Later, he sat outside his cabin, holding a warm cup, looking at the quiet forest. Peaceful, content, because something he gave long ago had found its way back. And maybe you feel it too. That simple truth: kindness never really disappears. It stays somewhere, waiting. And one day, it returns. Sometimes in ways you never expect. So never think your small actions don't matter. Because somewhere, someone, or something remembers. And that memory can save a life.